Hi everybody, and welcome to I Like Cruise Ships, the YouTube channel, and welcome to a new video, and welcome to a question and answer video. Now, if you haven't seen these before, they're something that I'm doing as a new thing on the channel. I'm currently on vacation right now, so obviously without a cruise ship to film behind me or to get off in a port of call, I'm going to do some videos from right here in my kitchen in Moscow, Russia. That's where I am right now. If I could turn the camera around, it would be snowing. It's cold, and I'm nice and warm and cozy in my kitchen right here. Now, I have a question that I'm going to answer here from a YouTube subscriber. So, thanks for watching, and also any other subscribers. You're more than welcome to post comments in the question in the of the videos. Sorry, I don't script these and I don't take twos. So yeah, so the question is from Blogging Trucker Reviews. Now, I've actually met Blogging Trucker on a cruise on the Horizon a couple of years ago now. In Bermuda we met. Remember, we walked off around the port area there. And he asks, actually make a video about this question. Where do the crew eat at on the ship? And is there a special place just for crew members only? Now, I'm going to answer the question pretty much talking about where we eat on board, because it's kind of interesting. Now, if you maybe have cruised on some of the cruise lines, they do have some behind the scenes tours. On Carnival, they call it Behind the Fun, and it's a 3 or 4 hour tour where you can go to the crew only areas on the ship. They do charge you to do it. I think it's around about $100. It's not a cheap excursion, but it's a very long excursion, and you meet pretty much all of the senior officers on the ship, right through from the captain, chief engineer. Backstage, you go to see the food preparation areas, the galley. So yeah, so now on that tour, actually, you do get to see a little bit of a brief look at some of the dining areas. Now, on Carnival Cruise Line, where I work, the dining is split up into three different dining rooms. There's a crew mess, there's a staff mess, and then there's a captain's mess or captain's dining room. Now, we still call them messes. I think it goes back to the merchant ships and the navy ships. On Carnival now, they're calling it Team Dining Room 1, Team Dining Room 2, and I think the Captain's Dining Room is still called the Captain's Dining Room. They've took a little bit away the kind of the hierarchy of the ship by saying crew mess and staff mess. Pretty much anyone who works on ships for the many, many years, I think it'll never really change where they want us to say dining room 1 and 2. We always get confused if there might be sort of an event or a training or something going on and they say that. We're always confused which one is which. Now, the crew mess, if you want to sort of break it down a little bit, they have breakfast, lunch, dinner, and midnight buffet. They breakfast, basically there's a walk through buffet line. Very similar, I'm going to say the food actually for the breakfast is very similar to the passenger breakfast up on the Lido deck. Maybe a couple of different things here and there, but it can be a full sit-down breakfast. You've also got fruits, juices, there's some pastries, tea and coffee, of course, water, whatever you like, drink-wise. I personally don't go to breakfast very often. It will be very rare. I tend to find I like to spend that little extra time in my room in the morning before work, get dressed and go straight to work. But a lot of people find, of course, that's the main meal of the day, and it gives you a good start energy-wise. I've never really been a big breakfast person. Lunch is served in all three dining rooms again. Basically, the team dining room 1 and 2, or the crew and staff mess, have now identical menus. Quite a lot of years ago on the ships, the crew mess menus were a little bit different from the staff mess, and there was a little bit more catered towards the Indonesian, Filipino, Indian crew members on board. Now the messes buffet lines are identical. It'd be very rare there'll be one dish that's different, maybe just because they didn't make enough or they've run out of the food because you've come late to the mess for the dinner service or breakfast or lunch service. Yeah, so breakfast, lunch, dinner. Now, the midnight buffet is only in the crew mess. Now, if again, midnight buffet obviously is midnight. Depending on the ship, though, they serve it from 11 p.m. till 1:30 a.m. So depending on the ship you go on or work on, It definitely is over midnight, but it may not be exactly the midnight timing. They used to have it till 2 a.m. Now it's gone back to 1:30. And yeah, Midnight Buffet tends to have, it does have a rotating menu. Most of the ships tend to work on a 14-day menu plan. So the food does differ daily. So you will have different foods on different days of the week. It's sometimes, it would be near impossible to remember which day is which menu. They do post it on a board. Most crew don't go and look at that and plan out what they're going to eat on a Tuesday. What the food is what the food is. You choose what you like, you sit down, and that's about it. Now, the captain's mess or captain's dining room is kind of a little bit of a more fancier place. It actually has waiters that serve the senior officers on the ship, the captain, the chief engineer, hotel director, doctor. It's a table that seats, I'm going to say it's about 10 to 12 or 14. It's a very small kind of dining room. It has one sort of bain marie with some cold fruits and maybe some cheeses and things like that. But the officers have to order from a menu, and then they have to be brought from the crew mess or from the crew galley into the captain's dining room. So when you pretty much go down there, I mean, I haven't eaten in the officers' dining room, by the way, but it's not a quick in and out kind of meal. You'll often see quite a lot of the officers go into the staff or crew mess to eat because it's just easier and quicker, and it's in and out. Also, the captain's dining room does have a little bit of a stricter uniform policy to go and dine in there. You can't go in there in kind of coveralls or kind of messy clothes. You'll actually see that the officers actually are properly dressed if they're not on duty. But for the staff and crew mess, you can go in uniform, in your personal clothes. There is some basic rules about you can't have open-toed shoes. You can't have workout clothes. Not sure. I think that's the two main rules that I have always had to follow. Closed-toed shoes. Not going in kind of, like singlets and short, like not shorts, but in workout tops and things like that, where you're a little bit sweaty and things like that. They expect a minimum decorum when you go in there. So for me personally, I'm not really too bothered about going into the staff or staff mess or crew mess. Working in the shops, we're considered staff members, so we do have a little bit more privilege that we can eat on the public areas, like up on the Lido deck. As a crew member, you, depending on your position, you can't go to some of the public areas to eat. You can ask permission to go and eat in them up there, like particularly up on Lido on a port day. But very typically, a lot of crew will go straight to the crew mess and don't want to go into the public areas, and eat with the passengers, with you guys, if you're watching as a passenger. So even myself, I'm not always wanting to go to Lido deck. People go, oh, it's better food up there. I don't think it is. I think there's perfectly great, good food in the crew mess. And the buffet, hot and cold foods. There's plenty to eat. I never go hungry. So I personally enjoy it. I know there's always going to be a crew member here and there. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like that. That's because you're used to mum and dad's cooking, or your own cooking, or your wife's cooking, or husband's cooking. But for me, I've got no complaints. And even I look forward to going to the mess to eat on most days. You know what I mean? I like to go down there. So Blogging Trucker Reviews, thanks for the question. I know it may be a little bit of a longer answer, but I think this is kind of what you'd expect, or what a lot of people are watching these questions for expect. I mean, these are not necessarily crew-only areas, but it's definitely not a public area where guests have access to. It's not an area where anyone can kind of walk by and kind of on the way somewhere. It is definitely a crew area, the messes where we eat. And then the crew galley. Even I can't go in the crew galley. Basically, the galley is limited to basically the food and beverage team. So basically, cooks, chefs, the waiters, or whoever's working in the messes. It can't just be anybody go back there and start cooking or grabbing food. You'd have to ask somebody to get something for you. If you might, like sometimes I go down at midnight and I want like oranges and they're not on the line there with the fruits. So I'll ask one of the waiters, can you grab me a couple of oranges from the fridge out the back? I would never sort of think to go in another crew member's work area without permission, or even if I was allowed, you know. So yeah, I hope you like the answer. I hope it sort of made a little bit of sense. Thanks for watching, everybody. I Like Cruise Ships, the YouTube channel. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to post a comment or a reply, no worries. If you aren't a subscriber, subscribe to the channel. Of course, a lot of people who are subscribers are watching these now as I post them, so maybe they're learning something new. Yeah, and I'm going to put a new video for you. I've got a little bit of a thing now where I put them right in the video for the last sort of part of the video. So if you're watching right to the end, thanks for watching, and check out another video in the playlist. It's over here. Thanks, everybody. Bye.